Welcome back, everybody, to my third time trying to record a run as this character. Hopefully my cat does not try to bite me or scratch me or jump at my face this time. It's going to be a good run. We're going to pray for no bad cat mojo. Seed, by the way, is going to be 00LQYZG4. This is Elijah. They got a dog. You can pet the dog if you stand close to them. The general gimmick is you throw a bone. It hits an enemy. The dog attacks the enemy, does big damage. It's my fourth time explaining the gimmick of this character today, and I'm already sick of it. But they're a really cool character. Don't let that drag you down. Oh my god, I'm so bad. Whatever your bone hits, the dog will sick, and it'll do huge damage and also make them explode into a bunch of tears. I don't know if you could like stack bone effects or not. I saw like there was a double bone thing on one of the enemies, but I'm not sure if you can actually stack bone effects. We're going to see right here if I can actually hit you. All right, you're spawning a lot of flies and not a lot of letting me hit you. Sun card's great. And it got me thinking. We haven't really had like an asynchronous companion character in Isaac before. We've had Jacob and Esau, Sodom and Gomorrah, and Tainted Laz, I guess you could kind of count as that. Oh, great. I do like Glass Cannon quite a bit, but never one that functions like this, and it's really, really cool to have two people on screen, but you only really got to worry about one's health. We had the character earlier in this, in today's, or this like modded series that was like a punching bag kind of clone sort of deal, but it wasn't really influential enough for me to want to consider it like in a two-character run. The other character just sits there. So we can put multiple bones onto an enemy. How many, though, is the question. I really can't hit Monster. He's just jumping. I can't touch him. I can get max of 2, it's looking like. But I could be... Oh, no, there's 3, 4. And I think the more bones, maybe the more damage your dog does. I'm still learning the character quite a bit, but we get this for HP, which is very good for our Glass Cannon type run. We can go back and do some minor sacrificing here. If we're going to be using Glass Cannon anyways, you might as well get some use out of the HP you're going to lose practically immediately. So I'll take this. We'll do one more. I forget what the next sacrifice could be. It's increased angel chance, so it's not actually worth going for unless we have a sun card. Yeah, you know what? Sure. We can sun card. Get this. 3 coins would be nice. You feel blessed. We can walk into our shop and buy a heart. Yes, we can. And maybe... Oh? Wow. All right. This is a good run. We're not going to be able to use our we can grab this heart, actually. We can grab both of these. We can't use our bone anymore, I don't think. Maybe I just saw a bone thing come out. Occasionally, maybe? Oh, that's not an angel item, you asshole. We could do this, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting first floor we're dealing with right now. We get 2 keys. So now I think it's safe to leave. What was our active item before? We'll just take Doctor's Remote. I'd rather have the bombs, I think. Okay. Very interesting first floor. Spirit Sword floor 1, my notes is itchy, I apologize, is quite good. It's one of my favorite repentance items, even though it is kind of a synergy killer. Okay. It doesn't really... Oh, wait, this is actually so good. It doesn't really work... It's not intended to work properly. But you can still get some bones down. And the dog does attack enemies if there is no bone on the screen regardless. So, if we spam the sword, nothing comes out for a while. I understand. It's a bit of a glitchy synergy, and not the best one to have as this character. But I get that it was a mod jam character, so it's not going to be, you know, perfect in every single regard. It was made in a short amount of time. Either way, though, I mean, I do like the idea of this character. I like how different it makes you kind of play the game. It's a very unique idea. The sprites are very clean. I like the way the doggy breathes and looks, and it's kind of like munching on his teeth right now. And even the effects for hitting it, it's like a Pokemon bite effect. I like that a lot, too. It's a very nice, cool, concise, and great character. Definitely one of the more unique ones we've seen in Repentance, even, you know, 2 years into Repentance's lifespan. I'm liking it. Okay, even more bombs. Dude, sign me up. Sure. I can use more bombs, I guess. But if you want to try, by the way, all of these characters for yourself, oh, that's fantastic. I will be making a, this does not work well, this synergy. A Steam collection with all the mods I use. Well, there should already be one, but I haven't added these characters to that collection yet. I have to do that still, and all the, from Elijah to Solkara, they'll all be in the pack, and you guys can scroll through and find the ones that I play with if that interests you. Though you could also just like search up the character on the workshop, and you'll get the same results. But I started to realize too as I was playing it, like, there's so many animal-themed items in the game, from just like the dog food you get from the bosses to cricket and guppy, and there's so many animals, right? And like the only companions we have are like punching bag and like sissy long legs. I wish we could do more with the sort of animal, like, okay, this is a new pattern. I was gonna do this. I don't really know how I'm supposed to fight right now with a spirit sort of just like randomly will stop firing. Like, this is me mashing the button. It'll occasionally just shoot a tear and I'll just stop shooting. And it's at random, it feels like. But that's what I get for sacrificing on floor 1, huh? But I wish we could deal more with the animal stuff. Because, like, animals are a big part of it. It seems like Isaac's life, with how many homages there are to his animals, and also, obviously, Edmund's pets when he was a child. So I wish there were more that were like this dog. This could be I could see this dog being an actual item in the game. It just walks around and sticks enemies. It'd be cool as hell. It really, really would be. I want to add my dog into the game. I've had 2 dogs. 2? Yeah, I've had 2 dogs in my lifetime. Growing up, I was scared of dogs and most animals growing up for a while. I don't know, just I said it before on the streak, but like, you can't really, directly tell what an animal's intentions or what they're like gonna do is. So like, as a kid, I always just assumed that animals just wanted to bite me, and that was kind of my opinion and my thoughts on dogs. Like, oh, all they want to do is like attack and bite me. So I never really got used to being around animals. And my big moment came when all my neighbors had dogs, and they would walk them constantly. That's really good. We're gonna lose. Oh, we did not lose a black card there. Nice. They would walk their dogs near our house and on our road, as dog owners do, as they should do to get their dogs exercise. And at one point, our neighbors just stopped to talk to my parents, and I was out there playing in the yard. And one of their dogs, his name was Turner, I think, if I'm not mistaken, had seen me playing and wanted to play with me. So it started chasing me. And I thought, this dog is out for blood. Like, he's gonna kill me. You guys don't understand. Help me. Mom, Dad, please. And they're just sitting there laughing because the dog's not gonna hurt me. Obviously, it's a dog. It's not gonna. It's a domesticated dog. It's not gonna go out of its way to just like bite my ears off or whatever. But I just started running for my life. I was sprinting into this field next to my house, just trying to find a tree to climb, whatever it may be. Yeah, dude, sure. You know what? This actually might be pretty good for us. We can sort of just like hug enemies. And we're immune to creep now, too, with this boss fight. There was gas there? I didn't see it. I call bullshit. This is a very good item to get, though. We'll just speed through the run. I'm not really concerned with min-maxing on a Spirit Sword floor 1 type of run. It's not really in my wheelhouse. I can put a bomb down here, I guess. I should have used my doctor's remote, but I did not. We do want to keep ourselves alive, so we'll do that. And maybe for the first time in 6 years get a devil deal. Who knows? But long story short, the dog ended up catching up to me, and like I tripped and it tackled me, and it was licking my face, but I thought it was gonna like eat me, like bite my ears. So I got terrified, and from then on, I was scared of dogs until eventually. And I had friends who had dogs that were like, they were just loud, and I don't like loud noises. As a kid, especially, I was like, I don't like the vacuum or anything that blenders. Like, they're just unsettling to me, I guess. I don't know if it was like sensory overload, whatever it may have been. Or just loud noises, like I hated them as a kid. And my friends' dogs were all very loud and like really playful and all that kind of stuff. So it just wasn't a good mixture for me. And then in 7th grade, my dad, who was a cop at the time, he had found a dog on his shift when he was patrolling, and it was like abandoned. So he picked it up and brought it to the shelter, and he kind of like fell in love with the dog and ended up adopting it without really telling us anything about it before he adopted it. I just came home and there was a dog there. And the dog's shelter name was Angel, but my sister wanted to call it Snuggles, so we named it Snuggles. It was a little tiny, I forget what breed. It was like a smaller dog though, and it was blonde. It was a very pretty dog. I don't think I have any current day. I have one in my wallet of a Polaroid of Snuggles in my wallet, but that's it. And we had the dog for a good. It had to have been a while. Like I was in high school for sure, so the dog, we might have put him down in like 7th grade. He was pretty old when we found him, and a lot of health issues. So, like, they just got really tired easily, couldn't go on walks anymore, and that's when we kind of realized, like, yeah, I mean, it's probably better for you if we put you down, because you are not having a very wonderful life the way you are. Why is our sword so big? What the hell? Does Tropicide make your sword this big? That's fucking insane. Oh my god. It's huge. It's too big. We'll go find our item room, I guess. We put the dog down. It was very sad. I couldn't even go to the putting it down thing because I had work. No, it must have been junior year then, because I had work in the morning. And I was working at the factory in junior year. So we put it down. I couldn't go to it, but we have the ashes, and he was a good dog. He was a very good dog. Oh, that's pretty fitting. Well, we already kind of have this, but now we have 2 bone tiers? Question mark. That's pretty cool. I guess we'll take this so we can keep our HP up, and we'll move on down here. Good dog. Playful, cute. Not much. I can't remember a lot about that dog in specific. I know I'd take him on walks all the time. We'd go down to the lake and then circle back around, and that was pretty much it. The day that I knew the dog was getting too old was I had taken him on a walk down to our lake, and when we got our drive, we had a huge hill for a driveway. Like, it was the worst driveway ever because there were 2 pits on each side of the hill. So like, if you were and it was a curved hill too, so if you were backing down and you went into a ditch, you were stuck there. That's kind of how it went. So that sucked. But we were walking back up the hill after our walk, and my dog just was panting, and it was taking like weak steps. I had to pick him up and bring him back inside, and I was like, damn, like it's not even that long of a walk. It was like it was 5 minutes away was this place. Not even 5 minutes. It was like 2 minutes away where I was going to. And when we got back home, Snuggles went into my room and laid on my floor and just kind of like passed out for a while, and I was like, god damn, like that's weak ass. No, it was sad. It was very sad. And then when we put Snuggles down, we had a good year where we had no dog. And I liked having a dog, but because my sisters were in sports and my parents both worked full time, like I ended up being the one taking care of the dog a lot of the time because I was starting a job too. Like, the last thing I wanted to do when I got home from working in a sweaty factory was walk my dog in the summer heat. So I was, in the nicest way possible, I was relieved to not have a pet for a while. Because, like, it was just added work that I really didn't... I was lazy. Point in case, I was just lazy. But it was nice when I have to come home and worry about, all that kind of stuff. And especially when I was trying to, like, play a game or hang out with friends and the dog would bark to go outside. It was a lot to manage for a high school student going into college who was also working 30 hours a week while they're in school. It was a lot to manage at the end of the day. And one day, it's my senior year. I think it had to be senior year. I am at work. It's October of my senior year. I know this day vividly because I'm at work with one of my best friends, Jacob. We worked together. It was a great time. And I get a call on my cellular phone from my dad. He's like, hey, what are you up to? And I'm like, oh, I'm at work right now, so I can't really be on the phone for too long. And he was like, do you think you'd be able to get off and come to the animal shelter? And I was like, I don't know. Like, we're kind of in the middle of a project. And he was like, well, they have this new rule here when you're adopting a dog. The whole family has to, like, sign off on it so they know it's going to a good home. And I was like, pause. Adopting, what do you mean by adopting a dog? Like, he's like, oh, well, I found a dog at the shelter I really wanted to get. And I was like, I guess, like, I don't want to upset him, so, like, I'll go to the shelter if you need me to. I mean, my work is pretty lenient with that kind of stuff. And we were the only ones there, me and Jacob at the time. All of our, bosses had gone home. We were the late night packers. And I drove there a little bit angry because I was like, I'm leaving work to go get a dog that like I didn't even know we were getting until like 5 minutes ago. And it turns out my mom didn't know either because she couldn't come because she was at work too, and she couldn't make it. So they were like, well, we can't let you get the dog if the whole family is not here. My dad like convinced lady to be like, no, it's okay. We had a dog from you guys before, and he eventually talked her into it. My mom on the phone, she agreed. She's like, fine, whatever. My dad was not giving up the fight. And I went back to work, and the dog came home with us. And I think the first night it was there, dog's name was Nola, slept in the my sister's room for like the full night. And she was very small. She was a puppy when we got her, like very, very tiny. We're going to go boss rush, full card, emperor card. And she got home. I didn't see her for like 2 days because she was just sleeping. She was so exhausted from the shelter. Because shelter life is not fun for animals, man. They're in the cages all day. They're constantly aggravated and annoyed and barking. We'll go dark room. We went Polaroid last run. This could be fun with our tapping when we're doing Spirit Sword. Not the greatest boss rush items, though, but we can keep moving on down. And then eventually me and the dog got really close. Like Nola ended up, I was again like, it was me and my dad most taking care of her. I took her on majority of her walks when I would leave for, because I would go to school. I was a pretty, I liked being busy in high school. So what I would do is I would work every day after school. Well, I had an apprenticeship too. So I would go to work middle of my school day and then until like 4 or 5. Well, I would say 6. 6 most nights because like I wanted to get a full work day in. Yeah, sure, why not? So I would not have any time to work out after school because it would be too late and I'd be so tired from packing boxes or whatever we were doing at work. So I would instead wake up at around 4 a.m., shower, go to the gym in the morning, then go to school, then go to work. And that was pretty much my every weekday. And I wouldn't work out on the weekends. So I would go for a run on the weekends, and that was like it. Because we had a nice road I can go for a run for behind my house that went across like this bridge onto an island near a lake. It was a very very nice spot to go for a run. There's a lot of big rooms chaining back to back. And I would find myself, you know, in the mornings when I would wake up to go to the gym, I would walk Nola at like 4 a.m. some days. My dad was waking up at the same time to go to his job. Which was, for a while, it was still a police. He quit being a cop to be a boat salesman or drive boats around the country for people. So both those jobs got him up pretty early. So he would also wake up and walk the dog occasionally. And then when I got home from work, if my sisters were gone at their sporting stuff, I would again walk the dogs. We got pretty close. And I did end up seeing her when I was on vacation at one point back at home. And she didn't like recognize me at first. She kind of like saw me and was like very like, who the hell is that? And then the second she smelled me, she jumped on me. It was so, I was so happy she still knew who I was. And she slept like next to me for like a couple nights. And then I had to leave again, which was kind of sad, but whatever. And that was the current day dog my family has. I walk my aunt's dog occasionally when I'm down here in Texas. She's even smaller than Snuggles was. She's a very tiny dog, but also a very annoying dog. She likes to bark at any chance she gets. If she sees food in your hand, she'll bark at you and beg for it. She'll bark at other dogs, and she's all bark, no bite, but she wants to like fight them. But you let her go, and she'll just run back behind your legs. But I like dogs a lot. I'm more of a cat person for sure with Beauty and Zim. Like I don't have to worry about walking them. They're very they're independent in the sense where like all I got to do is feed them, but they do require a bit of attention. Zimmy's mad at me right now because I kept putting her off the desk, and I had to spray her once because she was being very very mean to me. But I am more of a cat person. I would like ideally to have a house with a big backyard. Then I can get a dog and a couple of cats, and the dog can go outside and run around. And Zimmy has a more playful animal because dogs are definitely more playful than cats. Finding a cat like Zimmy is pretty hard, so she'll have a friend to kind of be active with and terrorize instead of Beauty. That would be ideal, but as someone in my position, getting a house with a big yard would probably be pretty unfeasible. I can get a townhouse, sure, when I move closer to home again, but it'd be nice to have a dog that Zimmy, because I think Zimmy would get along with the dog pretty well. Am I timing right for that? Oh, dude, I was so close. I forgot the timing on the doctor's remote drop. I think it's the same as a bomb, but I had to like move it over there, and I wasn't sure. This should be a pretty easy fight, though. I can hug Mega Satan and then get him down. I can get a charge up. Do that. It's fine. HP is not amazing right now, I will say. We can go back for the heart. I don't really feel like fighting Void this run, so we'll just go to the dark room. We'll end it off down here. But yeah, those are the pets that I've had. Goldfish too. Beta fish in the past as well. Beta fish were kind of our first intro to like what it's like to actually have a pet. I don't really care for any of those on final floor. Especially Bloody Lust would be kind of terrible to buy with our current HP, in case anyone's going to yell at me in the comments for skipping that up. But I think I enjoy having cats more. Dogs are definitely like, they have their moments of being super loving and it's really adorable, but a dog does not sit still long enough, I think, to sit on your lap or whatever and hang out with you. Whereas my cats, all they want to do is hang out. Like, that's it. And I gotta go on walks with them. I don't gotta, you know. They have, I think, like less just time out of your day for them, which sounds bad when you're owning an animal, but like when I'm working from home and I'm always around the animals, I don't want them to get like comfortable and be like, oh hey, like I can ask for a walk whenever. You know, don't get too comfy around me. But it's easier. I'd obviously walk a dog any chance I got if they wanted it, but it would take a lot of... Zimmy takes enough time out of my workday already, and she's in the house, so I can't imagine having an outside animal, if that makes any sort of sense. Went every wrong way again. That is unfortunate. We'll go back, I guess. Oh, you would have died if you would have bought the item. You could die at a lot of moments here. You're not really living on the best amount of HP right now. Just be... That's pretty good. That's good for having Isaac's heart. It's going to block a lot of the shots because it's inside of it. The heart now trails directly behind you, which is a very good change for repentance, might I add. It's actually... I like Isaac's heart a lot with melee builds. Forgotten and Tainted Maggie, especially Tainted Maggie, thrive off of this item. Callus is the most... We have Flight and we have Isaac's heart. That is the single most useless trinket for us I could possibly imagine. It landed on top of me. They gotta be careful here, man. I say running into several spiders directly. The bone shots are kind of interrupting my spirit sword swings. Okay. We are probably gonna die, but that's okay. Okay. The bone shots almost screwed us there. Unfortunate room. Honestly, really unfortunate to get this fight. We're gonna live it though. That stain could have telefragged us easily with its harder boss patterns mod attacks. It's quite good. Okay. Bone shots, please stop. All right, we won. If you enjoyed the run on my commentary, like it, a comment goes a long way for a small channel like mine. Follow my Twitch. I stream 3 days a week. In the meantime, though, I have been BD1P. Peace out and goodbye.